Okay, I wanted to show you guys this. This is probably going to be like a part 1, part 2 in the same video though. Okay, so 2 different topics in the same video. So I was looking back at this Van Gogh. Now in my darkness dream, I think I thought that the Scream person, or not the movie, but like the Scream painting was a Van Gogh. So then I started poking around in this today, and I was thinking, well, it looks to me like Van Gogh here saw something similar to Carl Gallup's. So there's a video on here on my channel where Pastor Carl Gallups talks about seeing, some kind of sign in the heavens right before the rapture, and probably like right before the darkness part. Remember how I told you that sometimes people don't see every single step that's in the part of the rapture? They just may see like the first part and the last part. Well, he saw that the constellations looked like they were swirling, and then he heard like sounds of terror from other people like around him, and then he was raptured. That's kind of the gist of the dream. But you want to go back and look at that, because I think that one is definitely legit, because his grandson also had the dream, and so did a lady at a conference that he was talking at, like he was the speaker at. And she came up to him in tears and said, God said that I need to tell you about this dream. And then as soon as she told it to him, it was the exact same dream that he had, that he had not told. He had not told anybody at that point. So just kind of a neat story there to sort of help you see what we might see. But I'm thinking that Van Gogh, we know he had some issues. He cut his ear and, was kind of tormented either mentally or maybe even demonically. I don't know. And then I want you to look at the moon here. So this kind of does tie in. So the moon has a crescent on it. You see that? Inside of the surrounding highlights of the lighter color yellow. And then everything's kind of swirly, okay? So think about that. I'm going to show you the Scream one too. And I think I thought this was a Van Gogh, but it was actually, I think it's Munch or something like that's his name. But he was a contemporary of Van Gogh as well. But that's kind of what these little creatures look like, but they don't have like facial features though. They were just blank, and they don't have clothes on. So they're just like a white body like that. Okay, but that's what they kind of look like. And then I want you to look at this too, because we're talking about the space stuff and the moon and all that. When we get to the 1016, 1017 on the Enochian calendar, that is a phase of the moon that is like this. It's the waning crescent, okay? So that's what the moon will be doing when the actual dates of the rapture happen. According to the other prophetess that I just released the video on, she said that the Enochian calendar of 923, 924 of 2025 is translating to 1016, 1017, okay? Now, I want to show you this too, which I thought was interesting. There are quite a number of countries here that have a crescent moon as their on their flag, okay? And so I'm wondering if this has some kind of connection, that when we start to see that waning crescent moon, oh, hold on, I'm sorry, I think I'm going the wrong way. And even my state of South Carolina has one of them too. So, and there are some like Illuminati and what's the right word? Messianic, not Messianic, like not Messiah, but like the Masons, the Freemasons. There's a lot of talk that they were started in Charleston. So if you know anything about those like secret societies and that kind of thing, that might be the reason we have one of these on my state flag, okay? But all of these countries have a crescent moon on their flag. And I'll try to do it slow so you can actually like take a screenshot or whatever if you want to do that. And a lot of these are Islamic majority nations too. Now, I do know that there are some symbolisms with moons and things like that with some of these pagan gods and deities and such, but I wonder also if it could be about the timing of when they would be able to take over, like when the tribulation would start. I wonder if it has anything to do with what the moon will look like when the church of Philadelphia, the true bride of Christ, the people who get the crowns, when they are leaving, okay? So just kind of think about that and pray on it. It's just a hunch. It's not a prophecy that I'm making right now. But it does seem to be that there's some kind of little pattern going on with all of these paintings and the moon and the crescents and the flags and the timing. So just think about it. Okay? Love you. Bye.